Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 9. Congrats for making it halfway through the semester. I know it's a really busy time of year right now. A lot of you have shared with me that you're knee-deep in midterms, that you have projects and all kinds of other things happening in your other classes. And as an instructor myself, right, we're all trying to get things in before spring break next week. So for those of you who haven't looked at a calendar in a while, right now we're at week 9. Next week, spring break. When we return on April 3rd, we're at week 10. And from that point forward, I guarantee it is a fast ride to the end of the semester. So this week is kind of the last long week of a slog. You've got a break. And then we come back in April, everything will kind of happen very quickly. So with that in mind, I want to talk a little bit about our week 9, what you can expect, and kind of where we're headed. I also just want to reiterate, if you have not yet checked the discussion board about your topic, please do so. I gave everybody feedback there, and if you posted on Sunday, then I will be finishing giving you feedback today on Monday. So if you don't see it there yet, then I will give you feedback there, or I'll give you a thumbs up. If you get a thumbs up, it means you're good to go. But I'm trying to give everybody a little bit of feedback. A couple of the things that I continue to see cropping up. First is that really make sure that you're going to have enough sources, right? You don't want to start doing all this writing and then realize that you can't meet the source requirement for this assignment. So it's better for you to do some of that organizing first, especially since this assignment is really steeped in research. You need to make sure that you have enough sources, that you have enough research. And the second thing is that I find myself repeating, you really want to make sure that the sources that are available to you are valid and verifiable sources. There's some stuff that's been happening on social media lately. And yes, of course, you could go to TikTok, Instagram, Reddit even, and you could find all kinds of information, but that's not the type of information that you need for this assignment. You need to go out and actually find valid, verifiable sources. That is a requirement of English 221, according to the UC and CSU system. It's something that we're required to help you learn, is that information literacy. So you want to make sure that you do some of that legwork before you dive into the writing and the drafting of the assignment, right? Again, all about best uses of your time. So again, make sure you go back and take a look at the feedback that I gave you on the discussion board. Okay, but let's move on. Here we are, week 9. This week, really your focus this week is drafting. You do not have a formal official rough draft due, but I would encourage you to get a rough draft done. And the reason is because you've got this week, right? Next week is spring break. The week you come back is the very first week of April, and your assignment is due by the end of that week. And so you actually have a lot of time. So if you feel like, all right, well, I'm not going to pressure myself to get a draft in this week or draft done. Again, I'm not requiring one. I'm not asking you to submit one. Maybe you want to work on it over spring break. Okay, maybe you don't want to work on it over spring break. Great, then pressure yourself to get something drafted this week. And the reason, again, is because you don't want to find yourself that very first week of April, coming back after spring break, suddenly trying to write the whole assignment, right? This assignment is not hard. It's not meant to be difficult, but it has various elements of it that are going to require your attention, right? Again, you have 3 sections of the assignment. The first is the summary of what happened, right? The second is, what are people saying about it? And that is going to require you to pull quoted material from a bunch of different sources. And so that one is going to naturally take longer to write. The third one requires you to provide your opinion. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts about it, right? Each one of those needs to have a certain word count, right? Check the assignment for that. So this is not a small assignment. This is a longer assignment with different moving parts. So I just don't want you to save it till the very end. It's not like a writing territory that you can just kind of put together at the last minute. It's something that you need to be putting a little bit more of your time and effort in. So, but again, you have spring break. So depending on what you want to be doing during your spring break, you may or may not want to be working on an assignment. So with that in mind, really There's not necessarily a lot of work to do in the class this week because I really do want you to be spending that time researching and drafting. There's a page reviewing paragraph structure. Um, this is more of just again, kind of reminder, probably nothing new for you here. But using evidence and splicing quotes, again, there's some videos here, especially on the using evidence page, that I think might be really helpful for you. If you know that you struggle with how to embed evidence and how to use quoted material without it sounding like it's really formulaic, I would encourage you to spend a little bit of time on these pages. Whenever I can, I try to provide videos for you because I think it's better to hear it. And so there's information here that you may find beneficial. As I mentioned last week, you have an ongoing assignment called the Rhetorical Analysis of Research. And you can turn this in at any time during Unit 3. Some of you turned it in last week. You can turn it in this week. You can also turn it in the final week. But again, you don't necessarily want to save this until the very end because it is a little bit time consuming in terms of you looking rhetorically at a piece of research that you found. Again, my 2 cents is to try to knock this out before spring break. And that way you don't have to worry about it during the final week when you should be submitting your essay. You do have a writing territory this week, and the writing territory, this is actually one of the favorite essays that I share as a mentor skill. It's called What I Learned from Cancer, and it's by a writer from the Atlantic magazine. His name is Dr. Ibram Kendi. Some of you may know him from How to Be an Anti-Racist or from his book Stamped from the Beginning. What a lot of people don't realize is that he is a cancer survivor. He had stage 4 cancer. And so this is his article kind of about that. And he is such an amazing writer. I love his writing. And so you'll see on the mentor text, like all of those little text blocks, like what is he doing here? What is he doing here? What is he doing here? And just all of these different skills that I think that he's just a really good example of what your writing could look like when you start to combine these mentor skills, right? What does it do to the flow? What does it do to you as a reader? Again, thinking about yourself as the reader, and then when you write, thinking about who is reading your writing. So that's your writing territory number 7. Okay, something else about the writing territories, just for clarification's sake. With the writing territories, again, you can write about whatever you want. You don't have to write about the article. The article is just showing you the skill in real life. So if you want to write about it, you can, but really the topic is up to you. It's really just you trying to use that skill. Okay, this week my office hours are a little bit odd. On Tuesday, I will only be available via email. On Thursday, I have a dentist appointment in the morning, so I'm going to hold office hours, and hopefully half of my face will not be like sagging to the side, and I'll be able to actually speak without slobbering all over myself. But as always, by appointment on Monday and Wednesday evenings. After the week after this is spring break. So the week 10 module is open and available to you. So for those of you who want to get a jump on week 10 and you want to finish your assignments and go into that very first week after spring break done with work for this class, by all means, you can absolutely work ahead and finish all your work week 10 stuff. You're not held back from any of that, so feel free to do that if you want to. The last thing is that I have given you feedback on your Unit 2 reflection, and so just make sure that you see the comments that I gave you, and there is a little task that you need to complete. So just make sure you're checking the comments there in Canvas. All right, I hope everyone is well. If you're knee-deep in midterms, know that today the sun is shining, and hopefully it will be the rest of this week too. So yeah, I hope you're well. And if you're going away for break, great. If you're working some more hours, great. If you're able to get in a nap, even better. So hope everyone's well. Congrats on making it to week 9, and let's continue to finish strong.